Alright guys, so welcome back to Gamer Today. Today we're going to be talking about something that a lot of people have been thinking and a lot of people have been wondering about. Is Fortnite dying? There's been lots of videos about this topic over the last year or so, but you know what, there was one that stuck out to me the most by that Denver guy. And I think his video was pretty good, that's why it's on screen right now. And I highly recommend you guys check out the original video on his channel, and I'll post that in the description for you guys below. But while his video was good and all, there's so many things that he missed that I want to talk about in my video. That's why I'm deciding to talk about this topic right now, because there's so many of you guys who's gotten this opinion that Fortnite is dying, and you don't really know why it's dying, or why it might be dying. We're going to talk about whether it really is dying in this video, and we're also going to talk about what are the main reasons I particularly think it's dying. So first off, let's talk about the massive changes that Season 7 and Season 8 especially have made to the game. Even Season 5 was a massive change to the game that I didn't even like. I didn't even play Season 5. I played a bit of it, but I got so sick of it, I decided to stop playing for a while. Now, obviously, I'm back in playing it, and yes, I love the new updates for the most part, but Season 8 has had a lot of the most critical changes that I can't get behind. Taking away certain things that we really liked, for instance, getting a kill and getting some life back, and also the material grind. Reverting the game to the way things used to be wasn't a good pick for Fortnite this time. Honestly, those were great features and great things that a lot of people really liked, new players and old players. It felt good to kill someone and get a little health out of it, get something out of it. And it was nice not to have to grind for resources all game. It sucks to have to hit every tree and every little thing you see just to get enough resources to stand still at the end of the game. Because honestly, if you make it to the end rounds and you don't have resources, you are good as dead. Currently in Fortnite, I find myself worried about resources more than I have had to in a long time, and it just irritates me because it felt so fresh and so fast-paced to get something out of kills, and felt so good to just get resources much faster. But now that we have a decrease in that, and a significant decrease, and we don't get anything from killing other players, it kind of feels hardly worth it sometimes. Especially to go into those huge team fights in squads. You guys know I play mainly squads. I don't like solo play that much, and I really don't care for duos, you guys know that. Although you guys always want to add me to some duo, come on guys. Fortnite's defense for reverting and taking those changes out of the game was it was harder for new players to get into, and maybe discourage new players because obviously they would be headhunted early game. And I don't find that to be true, honestly, because I was around for all these changes and I've seen since Season 1. The only season I stopped playing was Season 5. Season 5 was so boring I had to stop playing it. I just didn't like the changes. It was too drastic and it really didn't feel like the game I remembered, so I stopped playing Season 5. And this is what I see a lot of people doing in Season 8, because Season 8 is one of the seasons that it just really came away from what the game really was. Fortnite Season 7 was amazing. There were so many great changes to the game, and not everyone loves changes. I understand that. No one's going to be 100% happy. You can't make everyone in the community happy with your updates. I get that. But Fortnite Season 7 was good for the content creators and good for the players. There was constantly new content, there was great skins, there was tons of new features, and the planes were a welcomed addition once they were fixed. Now, fast forwarding to current day Fortnite, with Season 8, we have the hamster ball. The hamster ball is not good for squads, and it's not even good for solo players for what I hear. It's quite annoying and it breaks the game, based on what the pro players have said, and based on my own opinion, I totally think it ruins the game, and I absolutely hate the hamster balls. I hate fighting someone in a little ball that bounces around and goes up and down. It's annoying, it's not fun, and it doesn't feel like Fortnite that I remember. It actually takes a lot of strategy away from it. I really think they need to get rid of the hamster balls and bring back the planes. Planes, gave us cooperation. It made all the players want to play more close together, and that was good for the game, especially in Season 7. Season 7, I never had the issue of running away from each other. Nowadays, every game I play, everyone wants to go 4 different directions. That's annoying, and we're talking about squads, of course. You solo players have your own experiences, and you can leave those down below. I don't play solo because I find it boring, but you guys do like it, and that's a good thing. I obviously want to hear you guys' opinion, so make sure to tell me down below. But the hamster balls known as the Ballerz are not the only change ruining Fortnite. Crossplay is another big thing, and no one's mentioning crossplay. I say this because crossplay gives an unfair advantage to certain people. Fortnite players on the PC are getting a huge advantage with frames per second, as well as obviously options of stretch screen, which allows them to see things that other players are not seeing. The consoles are very limited to what they can actually do. Obviously, the frame rate is going to be around 60 frames per second on all the consoles, which is great, but if a PC player is getting 120 frames per second and also getting, a stretched image, obviously they're seeing more than we are, which means the players are not just getting better, the players are having an advantage. And I know all the pro players are going to say, well, that's not true. It still takes skill, and of course it does. But here's the deal, guys. Any advantage you have over another player is a big advantage. Honestly, if you're getting 120 frames per second and someone else is getting 60, that's a massive difference. You're going to see things rendered before we even see them. I'm going to shoot you, and you're going to have already shot me. That's a huge difference. And even if it's not 120, it's 80 frames. That's still 20 frames advantage. And while this difference may not be such a big deal in a game like Rocket League or a lot of other games that are not really so heavily intensive with shooting, obviously it's it's not going to make a huge difference to those games, but it will make a massive difference to Fortnite. And these PC players not only have the frames per second to mess with, they can also do the stretched resolutions, which is good and bad. Obviously, there's some resolutions that make it harder for them to play long-range games, but they'll make their close-range games amazing. But also, there's in-between grounds they can do where they get benefits from both worlds, and I find that to be extremely unfair. As a console player, what advantage do you have at that point? As a, mobile player, what advantage do you have? And guys, let's take a step back from the PC guys. What about the mobile players? If you're playing mobile now, you're going to be coming across everybody. And do you think someone on a phone can obviously compete with someone on the PS4 or the Switch or even the PC, for God's sakes? No, they can't. It makes the mobile version of the game almost more broken than ever it has been before. And I say that because building is super hard on the mobile, and then on top of that, you've got to play against players that have a physical advantage over you, which is a controller or a mouse pad and a keyboard. You guys understand the point I'm saying now. That's why I find crossplay to be the dumbest change that Fortnite's ever made, and I called this from a long time back. Now, I'm not saying crossplay can't be implemented in Fortnite, but what I am saying is make it an option to turn off, or at least make the crossplay only between the Xbox and the PS4. That would be a good idea. The Switch would be great, obviously, but it's only got 30 frames per second, and that's a huge disadvantage. If the game ever becomes 60 frames, then I could totally understand putting it in the pool, but with it at 30 frames per second, that's a huge disadvantage. If you lose to a Switch player and you're on a PS4, that's pretty sad, honestly. They're only getting half the render, which means they're seeing things almost a whole half second later than you are. That's insanity, which means if you're going to shoot them, you have a lot more window than you thought. If the frame rate was equal on all devices playing Fortnite, whether it's the Switch, the PC, the consoles, if all of these were basically equivalent to 60 frames per second, then I could see no problem at all doing crossplay. But that's not the case. Even, stretch resolution, I could totally understand having all that, but everyone's capped at 60 frames. But the fact that there's consoles that aren't even at 60 frames, that are in this pool of crossplay, it makes no sense. And I've been calling this for so long, guys, and I was right about it. I know you guys don't want to believe it, but let's be honest, guys. You guys have all had an experience of getting killed by someone you felt you had already shot, and that comes from this frames per second. It also comes from lag, don't forget, guys. We haven't even talked about that. And guys, to fight that lag issue, make sure you're playing on the server closest to your region. But here's what I want to tell you guys. If you're having 100 millisecond lag, right, 100 milliseconds times, the fact that you're only seeing 60 frames and a PC player is, getting 120 frames per second, but then on top of that, maybe that PC player is still getting about the same lag as you, they're still seeing stuff way beyond your comprehension, and you're not even getting a chance to react to it in time. It is totally not fair. They're getting double the reaction time. You are getting half of that. So it's a massive difference. And I see a lot of professional players playing at high frame rates. Whether it's 120 frames or even above 60, it is just an unfair advantage. I think Fortnite needs to get their head out of the sand and actually realize this issue and try to get their consoles up to the same speed and make a cap on frames per second. Every console and every system that's in this crossplay should be at 60 frames. If it's not, then don't put it in the crossplay. It's not yet ready. That's all they can do. Honestly, make it optional if they want to play, but let's be honest, guys. When's the last time you played with a, mobile player, for instance, that did well and maybe got 1 or 2 kills that game? Not gonna happen. When's the last time you saw a mobile player get 10 kills in a game? Never gonna happen. You'll never see it. And with crossplay, at least, if it was mobile versus mobile, you might see it, but not with crossplay. It is physically impossible. And I think we can all agree that the mobile version of Fortnite has always been the more casual version, but not anymore, because they're all jumped into this, big pool of people fighting against consoles and all these other devices. It's not fair at all. It is stupid that we've already done this. I mean, I've seen this coming from a while, so why couldn't Fortnite? But Fortnite's got their head in the sand, like I said, and they're looking for any reason to say why new players don't want to play their game, or why new players are having a difficult time playing Fortnite. And the reason is crossplay. It is such an obvious reason. But also on top of that, they're really discouraging team efforts. I mean, they really are. With this ping system and all that, it doesn't require people to actually talk anymore. People don't need to use the microphone to actually play the game together. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, it's up to you guys. But honestly, cooperation requires some sort of communication. And communicating through, pinging and all that just isn't effective enough. And it's not as good as Apex Legends, where you can actually talk more, dialogue lines, and players can hear you from across the map. So it's kind of totally different. It's like a jeopardized version of Apex. It's kind of like a half-assed version. So that's what I'm saying. And I'm not saying Apex is better by any means. I'm saying the ping system was more well thought out. And let's talk about Fortnite's viewership. It's been going down across the board, very steeply, honestly. And the reason for it is Fortnite Season 8. There's no events, there's no content to really make. All these Fortnite people are doing is making basically clickbait videos. Making videos that are quite boring or something we've already seen. No, I'm not saying everyone's doing that, but I'm saying a good majority of videos have gotten stale. And the reason for it is there's nothing to make videos on. In Fortnite Season 7, there was tons of videos to make. There was so many events to cover. There was a lot of content to really make. There was so much you could sink your teeth into. This season, there's really not much you can. All the challenges are self-explanatory, to be honest with you, and you can figure them out by just reading them. And maybe that's a good thing. but it's not good for the content creators, and that's a good reason why the viewership is down. Content creators are not making the kind of videos they were last season, or any other prior season before that. The challenges in Fortnite Season 8 are just so easy, no one's looking for tutorials because there's no reason to, and a lot of the viewership for Fortnite is tutorials or things that people need to know how to do, and that's what people are missing. Fortnite viewership is great and all, but people start looking at your channel because you start making tutorials or things they need to know how to do, and then they find out, hey, you can play well, and they start watching your videos, or you're funny, or people like the content you make, and that's how it goes down, and that's what it's gone for my channel and a lot of other channels as well. And now a lot of people complain, well, my channel was built on Fortnite, if it's dying, what am I supposed to do? Well, I would obviously say don't keep all your eggs in one basket. You don't want to make only one game on your channel. If you were a true gamer, make game videos about anything you want. It's all open. It's an open market. YouTube is just a gamble. It's a friggin' slot machine. At the end of the day, that's all it really is. So if your channel's built on Fortnite, find another game to play, or just keep playing Fortnite until it dies out. I don't care what you do, but honestly, try to diversify yourself and stop putting all your eggs in that one basket, guys. And obviously, for the people who play Fortnite and just, play Fortnite all day, maybe look into some other games to play sometimes. Obviously, you should have some sort of a breakaway game. Not everyone can play Fortnite all day long, every single day, and not get bored of it. You need another game on the side that you can kind of play and just kind of take your mind off Fortnite. And I encourage everyone to do that, whether you like Fortnite still or not, and even I still do like it, of course. I'm not saying, yeah, I'm bashing Fortnite. Don't think that. But what I am saying is, guys, you need to have something to diversify your channel, diversify your day. Obviously, I'm talking about both to content creators and to the players themselves. Play something else. If you do like Battle Royale games, try something like Apex. I know, it's not the most popular game in the world for content creators. I get it. But you're not a content creator. You're a gamer. First and foremost, everyone who makes content should be a gamer. And if you're not, why are you making gaming videos? It's not all about money sometimes. You need to have the passion to do it. And that's why I'm saying, guys, diversify yourself. Maybe Battle Royale is getting a little stale, so play a game that's not Battle Royale. Play something with a narrative. I don't know. Play anything you guys want to get yourself out of that rut of being bored with Fortnite. It's a great game, guys. Now, guys, all games die and all games have that expiration date. But this game isn't yet dead. It's just gone on a little hiatus. In my opinion, it just seems like the Fortnite developers got their thumb up the wrong place. But here's the thing. Get your thumb out of your mouth, mate, and start making some good changes. That's all it needs, is to get some hype. I mean, they failed us on the rune skin completely. They failed us on all the events this season. Now, I'm expecting a big event on week 8, but I've also been expecting a big event on week 6, just like every other season. But there's no events going on, and that's what's kind of driving this game to be going downhill. There's no events, there's no content to really talk about, and there's definitely no challenges that are hard enough to make people want to go see a video about it. So my whole point is, there's failing across the board because there's just not enough hype for it. The hype is totally mitigated by all the stupid changes. The simple fact that we could see the rune skin before the event and that we could see it in the discovery challenges, that we can unlock him, is a big downside. The fact that there's no event to introduce him. Oh, the digging event. How should I forget the digging event? Oh yeah, a bunch of YouTubers playing 6 hours of freaking hitting rocks. Thank you, Matu. Getting donations. That's not much of an event, my friend. That's boring as can be. And it wasn't like the rocks just instantly went down and there was nothing there. There was no payoff. That is no event, guys. I need bigger than a digging event. If you're going to make a digging event, make it exciting. You guys know how to make good events. You did the marshmallow event. You did all these different events last season. The winter events, you name it. There was so many things out there. There was a lot of free content given to the players last season. But, this season, they totally got their thumbs in the wrong place. Get it out of your mouth. Stop sucking it. Why are they not playing our game? Well, I wonder why. There's nothing to play it for. It's just either you win or you lose right now. There's no challenges worth doing. A lot of people aren't even excited about the Battle Pass. The Battle Pass is probably one of the weakest Battle Passes we've ever had. That or one of the weirdest Battle Passes we've ever had. The final skin of Lux. Nobody wanted that skin as the final skin. Not that it's a bad skin, because it kind of is, but, it's not totally a bad skin in its own right. It's just no one wanted a rap girl with gold on as a final skin. We want something creative, something cool. Maybe if Rune was that skin, or maybe if there was some crazy skin there, it would have been cool. But making just a regular person wearing an outfit doing a rap thing and having this bling blong and all that, it's not what we were looking for, and it doesn't even make sense to the pirate theme. It doesn't make sense to anything with Fortnite. It should have been a character you can buy. It shouldn't be a character in the Battle Pass, at least not at the top tier 100. It makes no sense. And guys, talking about all this content creation stuff, we also got to talk about the pro scene. The pro scene is not the scene you need. Pro players are great to promote your game, but it's not the scene you should focus on. You obviously need the average player to be able to enjoy the game. That's where the money is. The pro players don't buy every little thing that comes out. Even though they make a ton of money off the game, they don't buy everything. It's those freebie players or those players that are, new to the game. They buy a lot of stuff because their friends say, oh, did you get this skin? And they say, no. Well, get the skin. They beg them and tell them all day long how they're not cool until they get the skin. That's your gimmick. That's always been the gimmick with these games. Fortnite has always used that gimmick of you don't have something someone else has. has, so you must get it. That's always been the goddamn gimmick, and you can say whatever you want, but it's true, and you guys know it is. But here's my issue with all this, guys. Keeping that in mind, why are they focusing so much on people like Ninja, who bitch and whine and complain all day about the game, who Tofu and all these different people? Who cares? These players are good, so be it, but who the freak cares? They play with stretched resolutions on PCs with higher frame rates. Who cares? I know they do some great stuff, but here's the deal, guys. We don't need to play to their game. We don't need to play to what they like. We play to the average player. What do you and me like? We're the people who matter. Not Ninja, not Tofu, whatever his name is. We don't care about those players. They're not bad people altogether, but they whine so much. And I can't take it. Make the game better for the average player, not the pro circuit. We don't need pro circuits. Let the average player become a pro by proving themselves within the game. That's the way it should be. And I know they're trying that with arena mode and all these different competitions, but you know what? Take a step back from all these pro circuits on television and all these different things they do, and put all that money into researching how to make the game better for the average player. The average person who's even maybe never played Fortnite, as well as the people who have been playing Fortnite but are not professional, who just enjoy the game and play it with their friends daily, or play it weekly. It doesn't really make a difference. Those players are the key aspect of your business. Those are the ones who are going to stick around after this game is, dead in the mainstream or dead from the pro circuit. You know what? Pro circuit players can kiss my, you know what? I really don't give a care. I've never watched pro players. I don't enjoy it. I find it boring. Yeah, it's cool to see someone get like 10 kills or 12 kills a game, but I see kids do that too. So it's not saying much, to be honest with you. I don't care how you get the kills. I don't care what the kills look like. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. It is cool. But if you have an attitude that's just not very likable, or if you want to go and whine about this game all day long, then play something else. It's not that difficult. You've made millions off this game, guy. Come on, get a real job, do something else, or stop whining about it. It's that simple. If you make a lot of money off a game, how dare you stab it in the back, and complain like a little baby? It's just to get more hype for your stupidity, because you made a lot of mistakes and now you want something else to bitch about. And that's all it comes down to, guys. So as far as I'm concerned, Tofu and Mr. Ninja can go play a different game if they don't want to play it. This is a game for the people, not a game for them. They didn't make this game famous. They like to take hype and say, well, Ninja made this game famous and popular. No, he didn't. He might have assisted, he might have helped it, but it sure as hell wasn't him who made it a popular game. It was the gimmick of the game itself. It was the strategy, the fun. It was the enjoyment of the players. I didn't start enjoying this game because I watched Ninja. A lot of my friends didn't start enjoying this game because they watched Ninja. I have hundreds and hundreds of friends, and not one of them is telling me, oh, Ninja's the only reason I played Fortnite. Not once. And you know why? And most of these guys are Season 1 vets. Here's the point. It's a good game when it wants to be. But recently, Fortnite's been dropping the ball so many times, and that's why the viewership is down. That's why the player count may or may not be down. We don't know, because we don't have the statistics on that. But what I will tell you guys is, with all the friends I have, it seems like everyone's playing creative mode. A lot of the players are not happy with the base game of Season 8. A lot of people are just enjoying the limited time modes and creative mode. And that's a big problem. I mean, limited time modes are supposed to be there to spark more interest or to be a breakaway from Fortnite while it's still letting you play Fortnite. Instead of playing a different game, you get a new experience within Fortnite. That's the whole gimmick of the limited time modes. But you know what? A lot of people are just playing creative mode because it takes the place of that mode, and it also seems more personal with their friends, and it's a better experience because they can make the game more like they remember it, or they can practice the skills. And that's the thing, guys. That's why creative mode is so popular. Even the videos on creative mode have gotten more popular recently. It wasn't so popular a while back, but now it is, because the game has set its, downfall. Honestly, no one wants to play Season 8. Every single game I play, I hear a massive complaint about the game, and that's a big problem. That was not how it was back in the day. It wasn't even how it was in Season 7. But in Season 8, that's how it is all the time. Every single game I get into, people go different directions, people complain, and that's the norm. That's how it is, and we're talking about fill games. But even when I play with friends, it happens the same way. So don't tell me playing on fill is always going to be like that. I've been playing on fill since the beginning of Season 1, guys. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to this. And here's the point, guys. If the player base is not happy, the game will not do well. And I know that Fortnite's not just going to go away overnight, guys. I totally understand that. We've seen the Minecraft phase. This is even bigger than the Minecraft phase. We all seen how many people played Minecraft and it was the biggest game on YouTube. Well, now Fortnite is. But Fortnite is sinking. We all saw it with GTA as well. And who could forget the Call of Duty phase? We all remember these things. And guys, that's the way it's always going to be. Games come and go. We understand that. But Fortnite has the highest potential chance to fix their problems and make this game great again. I don't think the Battle Royale phase is completely dead. A lot of people still like the game, and it's a great way to play with your friends. The concept of the game is simple enough, and it's just fun. Be the last one standing. understanding, you win. That's the whole idea, and anyone and their mother can understand the concept of that. That basic formula is what makes this game so great. I played with someone who was 50 years old playing this game, and you know, obviously she wasn't the best, but she still tried. The fact that she was on this at all playing the game is insane to me, and that's what I'm talking about, guys. There's so many people playing this game, and everyone from their mother to the grandmother is playing Fortnite. But the thing is, they need to make the game more fair, because otherwise these players that are just, you know, kind of hobbyist players, like the old grandma, of course, you know, they're going to go away. And of course that may be fine for some players, and someone's like, well, who cares? She's old. But I get it. But the point is, you need to make the game accessible to as many people as possible to make the most profit, to make the most viewership of the game, to make the game great again. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I really want to hear in the comment section down below what you guys think is ruining Fortnite. And guys, I know this video is long, but there was so much that we needed to talk about and get out there in the open, because I think a lot of you guys missed the opportunity. Even the YouTubers out there, they all miss a lot of chunks of things that are really wrong with the game currently. And if we get this message out there to Epic Games and to Fortnite, we can really make the game great again. If we tell them what's wrong and we get this video out there, guys, I need your help to make that happen. We might be able to make the game better. So thanks to everyone for watching this video. I really appreciate you guys. You know I do. But anyways, guys, until next time, this has been Gamer Today.